Good evening and welcome back from The Point. I do hope you've enjoyed the discussions and the conversation to do with what is happening from Uganda and in more of the aspect of business. My name is Jerome Paul Songo here with the Daily Report. It is time for the Prime Edition time check, 9:03 in the o'clock. And definitely we are here to guide you through what has been happening in Uganda and as well what has been happening from the world of business in regards to other countries and the entire globe. Let's kickstart it off with our very first. We're coming to you live from Plot 42 Nile Avenue. Now this particular one takes us to innovations of blending in learning, as teachers have been advised to learn affordable and reliable ICT systems. The Ministry of Education and Sports, through the Department of Teacher Education and Training Development, called upon teachers to embrace the new ICT operation system as a way of mitigating learning. Let's have the details of this report.
Nathan Kamwana highlighted that 4 teachers were trained in every government school, and they're supposed to train the others on how they should mark the learners under the new secondary curriculum. Mark Sokol motivated teachers to embrace innovative technologies such as e-learning platforms that can help learners interact with their teachers at any time.
The experience of COVID-19, where teachers were not in touch with their learners, and we believe that using new technology, a teacher should be able to be in touch with the learner, even the learner, when the learner is not at school. And that is what we are trying to encourage. And in this symposia, we expect teachers and educators to come with interventions that we feel can be so useful to a teacher during this era of COVID-19. So when learners are out, a teacher should be able to reach learners online. They should be able to assess learners online. They should be able to give feedback to learners even online. How do we continue to be in touch with the learners even when they are not with us as teachers? That is the purpose. It is one area, it is one of the themes that we have in the forthcoming symposia, and we expect a lot of interventions on that and innovation.
And now on to the next one. Let's speak milk production enforcement in the country, as there is an urge of helping to regulate the milk standard on the market. Whereas milk production continues to grow, consumption remains low, standing way below the World Health Organization is recommended per capita of 200 liters. This is due to the low standards on its production and storage capacity in the country. Today, the Dairy Development Authority carried out an enforcement within various parts of Kampala as a way of assuring quality milk production in the country. Let's have the details of this one as well.
Milk production increased to 2.81 billion liters in the period ended July 2021, according to a report by the Dairy Development Authority. However, the increase was lower than 3 billion liters that the Dairy Development Authority had projected during the period. Speaking to the inspectors carrying out this operation, they share the standard criteria they have to follow while visiting the different dairy outlets that sell raw milk.
So, we are moving out to different selling outlets for raw milk, checking the quality of milk by testing. We normally check for the milk composition of milk to know that the milk which they are selling to the public is safe for human consumption. You know, this milk is being taken by our mothers, the children, the pregnant women, even the sick, and even other people. So we need to protect the quality of milk which is sold to our country.
The parameters you look at as per the standard for raw milk has to be wholesome. Nothing should be removed and nothing should be added. So we'll test the milk to see whether the fat is within the standard, the density, then the freezing point, no added water.
Harriet, one of the inspectors, adds that if the milk doesn't meet the required standards, it then has to be destroyed.
It's found adulterated. We normally taint it and we advise the stakeholders to go to reliable people whom we have registered and be able to continue with their milk, but they have to destroy the milk which we have already taken. It shouldn't be sold to other people.
The Dairy Development Authority is a statutory body under the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. It was established under the Dairy Industry Act 1998 with a mandate to develop and regulate the dairy industry. Speaking to the Acting Executive Director Samson Nakankiza, he says that they ensure that the milk is well processed.
Ensure that we have increased volumes of milk, especially have safe milk produced. And once that milk is produced, it is also our mandate to ensure that it is safe and quality milk for consumption. So we ensure that the value chain is well taken care of and it's developing at every node of the value chain. Once we produce the milk, we make sure it is processed and it reaches the table which is of high quality. Looking at the marketing, both domestic and regional and international markets.
He further adds that they ensure that the milk quality is on standard and there are regulations that everyone must follow.
Ensure that there is quality milk that is being consumed. We make sure that we do inspection of those premises, of everyone who is handling the milk, starting from the farm to transporters, to milk collection centers, to processors. All these are licensed and registered to operate. Now, during the inspection, there are parameters that we follow to make sure that at every handler of that milk, there must be some aspects be fulfilled. Some are guidelines, others are regulations to follow, and others are standards.
Here the milk is tested, and this didn't meet the standards. 6% of the milk sold is raw milk, which gives them a burden to ensure that routine inspections are done.
As you realize, most of the milk that is marketed is sold as raw milk, which is not processed. About 66% of our marketed milk is sold in raw form. And in raw form, that gives a burden to DDA to ensure that the consumers take safe milk, though it is not packaged and processed. So we do routine inspection of those premises, which are milk sales outlets. Those are ones.
A report from the Dairy Development Authority in 2020 revealed that dairy exports have reached 358.6 billion in the last 4 years, contributing at least 42% to total agricultural exports. Naomi Mutumba, Smart 24 Prime Edition.
Naomi Mutumba with the details of that one. Now, the next particular report is taking us back to the issue of the old vehicles, or the second-hand, third-hand type of vehicles. And the old vehicles are dangerous for human health. That is according to the medics that have advised the Kampala City Traders Association, KACITA. The medics have also recommended need for the Uganda Revenue Authority to regulate old vehicles into the country. Dr. Shannon Kakungulu says that much is actually highlighted, but there is one key part, which is health implications, which will be dangerous to the economy. Let's have the details of this one. All right, now still on that particular one, as we are still getting that particular report regarding the medics that have advised KACITA on the old vehicles. Apparently said that the old vehicles are dangerous for human health.
The business community raising concerns about the effects of the document issued by URA on never permitting old vehicles to get into the country. Early this month, KACITA Uganda, through its chairperson Thaddeus Musoke, advised URA to disqualify the document it issued of not allowing old vehicles to get into the country, citing out the effect it has on the car business.
Bound to lose this market, while those clear that the port of entry will render uncompetitive on the market together with its revenue that had been coming in taxes. This act is going to create an increase in the cost and the price since the issue of liquidity.
Since then, the same matter has yielded public opinion on the effect of old vehicles, not just on the business community, but also on the health of Ugandans. Dr. Shannon Kakungulu, a senior medical doctor who has practiced medicine both within and outside Uganda, has advised that other countries no longer accept the whole vehicle because of its effects.
Correct. The carbon footprint. The older vehicles produce a lot of pollution. Okay, they pollute the air. It's a fact. Without control, we are in a problem. Have you seen? We've been tracking the quality of air in different cities in the world from the WHO perspective. It is found that those cities with the highest carbon monoxide fumes or the low quality of air have the highest incidence of what we call chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, like asthma. These are diseases that affect the lungs. Okay? Children in India have been found that out of 100 children, nearly 20% of the children are suffering from that disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. In contrast to a country like Norway, where the pollution is so low, they virtually have eliminated such diseases. So there is a relationship between the quality of air and the incidence of such diseases. So from a medical perspective, just like tobacco was, okay? Tobacco in the 50s, they started complaining, doctors started complaining that we are seeing more cases of lung cancer amongst the smokers, okay? So a thorough study was taken over 20 years. And by the 1970s, it was realized that tobacco smoke was one of the leading causes of cancer of the lungs, okay? And that is why the world woke up and said, no, they should start banning the use of tobacco and restricting its sale, okay? Now with that, we are now getting a decrease in the cases of lung cancer.
Kakungulu has advised that it may be negative on the short run, especially when it comes to business, but moving forward, it may help the country.
People who fall sick, the more they will survive, and the more the chances that they'll be able to afford the newer vehicles with less pollution.
The debate of the fate of such vehicles being not allowed in the country still goes on. But what needs to be done? Fred Makubi.
And that particular one coming in from Fred Makuya. Well, the issue of old vehicles still a big puzzle for those that are still importing them into the country. But away from that, let's talk financial inclusion, which calls for saving, as it is seen as an investment plan for retirement benefits. Ugandans have been asked to invest in financial inclusion, hence saving for a better retirement age in the future. Kevin Nandera reports.
Financial investments are sources of savings for retirement benefits in the future. Flavia Nakamate, a financial inclusion expert, says there is a need to have at least 5% deduction from salaries, hence planning for the future in the next 30 years.
Purposeful decision that is followed by actions in terms of saving, managing your savings very well, having a savings goal, a saving plan. Where do you want to be? What do you want to use your savings for? Then when it comes to investments is all about making your money grow. How can your money make more money for you? So usually, it's also a form of saving as well. It can be a source of income and a form of saving. So when it comes to investment, you must have an investment plan. You must have an investment goal. If it's a family investment, you see families involving the husband and the wife. One goes to abroad to get the items, the wife stays in the business managing it. You're managing your investment. You must take charge of it. You must be part of it for you to manage it. Okay? Then we talk of pension. Pension is usually something that comes out of retirement and old age. And I usually tell people that you don't wait for that time for you to plan for old age. I encourage my people, my friends, you plan for your old age or for retirement that day you start earning, that day you get your first job. Even if you deduct 5% of your income on a monthly basis, you plan for your retirement. Pension is a package that comes after you've retired from active service. However, you must have a foundation for it. You must have invested in something that will ensure that smooth transition. in terms of time, utilizing your time, in terms of your resources, in terms of your money. You get your pension, your money, you've been employed like me or you, Kevin. So if you're employed here, you earn a salary. If someone gave you a pension right now, where are you going to start from? What are you going to invest in? Because you need your money to grow. So when you talk of pension, it should be planned for. You should have planned for your old age. You should plan for it. You should know where you want to put your money. Where do you want to put your money for it to grow? What do you want to use your money for? Many people end up wasting that money. Others even sell the properties they've worked for the last 20 or 30 years. So for me, pension, I would cap it under planning for old age or retirement.
She further advised parents to teach children the benefits of saving in the country and seek research to know the quality of services people have, which is favorable to them, as saving is a key foundation of everything.
Best for us is to understand how can we use it to our advantage. Two things that I look out for is access, quality, and then the cost. Okay? Access in terms of if it's technology. If I have a bank account with Bank X, if I walk out there to an agent, can I access my money? If I have my ATM card, can I access my money? If I have mobile banking on my phone or internet banking, can I access my money? Okay? Because that is purely access. Then the quality of service. You don't want a financial institution where the network is always down. It will affect access for this what? The quality of that service is very poor. Then when you talk of the cost, you must consider the cost. Okay? You don't go for something that is purely expensive, yet you can access something at a fair price. So it goes back to do your research well. And if you value your money, you're going to take time to do your research very well. It goes back to financial literacy and then financial inclusion as a whole, where you're looking at access to affordable financial services. The key word is access, where we bring in technology, and then affordable. Is it something that is within your means? Can you afford it? Can you use this service comfortably? And you can afford to pay for it, and you're satisfied, you can get the service on time. So basically that's it about financial inclusion. Bank of Uganda is doing a great job, but other actors in the sector, financial service providers, NGO world, we all have a role to play. But most important, it goes back to the individual, to the parents, to the families. Let's groom our children to learn how to save. Saving is the foundation for everything under financial inclusion. If you know how to save, accessing a loan is easy, and managing your money is going to be easy. Repaying the loan is going to be very easy for you because you know how to manage money. So it goes back to us at the family level, at individuals. Let's train our children to save. Let's task our children. When you give your child money, Kevin.
Well, away from that, let's speak ICT in Uganda. The innovation world is growing bigger and better in the country, and that has called for a competitive nature or narrative in how most of the Ugandans come up with their innovation. And speaking of ICT in Uganda, the MPs have called for more allocation of funds to the sector or the ICT industry. Members of Parliament have called for more funding going to the Ministry of ICT to uplift technology in Uganda. Modern technology is highly contributing to the country's economy. However, it has not been given much attention. During the advocacy engagement on considering affordable information communication technology, the members of Parliament say that ICT should be prioritized. Our reporter Pedson Mumbere has the details to this one.
You have a scared government. The opposition is also scared. You don't know what's going to be posted. So government is protective. But you also have a government of very old people at the apex. And for them, the priorities are different.
To reduce, actually, the government target is to increase the penetration of internet to the rural areas and to all communities. And then the second thing is to reduce the cost of ICT devices.
According to the UN, the global economy grew by 3.6% in 2017, resulting in a decrease in the level of unemployment in 2018. The growth is attributed to the technological advancement, especially in developing countries such as Uganda, that has encouraged the youth to forge innovative ways to promote business growth and curb unemployment. During the advocacy meeting on considering affordable ICT, parliamentarian says that this is not enough, calling on government to allocate more funds to the Minister of ICT and reducing on the price of ICT devices.
Issues we have as the alternative government, I would like to take this opportunity to tell the public that we have suggested, we have recommended in our policy statement, the alternative policy statement, first of all, to lower the cost of internet data, but also to fully restore Facebook, because there's so many people who have lost business, who have lost a lot of money because of Facebook being down. So as the alternative government, we have indicated that this should be fully restored. But we have also indicated that we need the cost of ICT devices, the phones, the laptops, the computers in any form, the cost to be down. Because then, if the cost of a phone is down, the number of people who will access that phone will be more.
Hide anywhere. If we have to develop a business, we must take on ICT to be at the center stage. The other day we were at the border checking the scanner in Busia. You normally hear of the one-stop center. One-stop center where you come, these stories of offloading the containers. Even those goods that are perishable are offloaded, then they are loaded, you go the other side, you pay, you offload, you load. It was becoming so much tiresome and inconveniencing. So there is now a move to you bring your goods, they are in the container, they enter the scanner, and the scanner will be in position to take there. You know what it means and how it saves. The story of health, because these are key things that we must respect. Health, if technology is not there and somebody is in ICU, you know what it means.
Though Uganda still has a long way to go in terms of technology, the current developments are very encouraging. The technological advancement has not only created a wider market for business and entrepreneurs in the ICT sector, but also for Ugandans in the retail sector outside the urban centers. Nonetheless, there is still the need to nurture innovation at the grassroots level to avoid the challenges that have been affecting entrepreneurs. That will further facilitate innovation and business growth in the region.
To reduce, actually the government target is to increase the penetration of internet to the rural areas and to all communities. And then the second thing is to reduce the cost of ICT devices. And for this to happen, I think two things will be important. One is the R&D. We need to do research, innovation, and to see that we have local production of ICT equipment, especially phone and so on, so that we can reduce cost. And then the second thing is to improve the infrastructure in order to reduce the cost. But the challenge now we have is the funding. As one of the members who spoke earlier said, the funding is very low, and we really need your involvement, especially in research and providing us information.
Transact. So I think there is a lot to do through advocacy, through whoever is concerned. As Parliament ICT Committee, we are ready to engage whoever is interested to ensure that we move this country to another level. The cost of production in this country is simply too high. Reason? Technology has not been embraced. This is the time when government is saying, digital transformation is the way to go. But when it comes to budgeting, do we see digital in your budget? So as Comrade Kibaria said, can we have your document for input as the ICT committee to see where to begin from? And equally encourage, advocate for other stakeholders that are concerned. Because, with a voice, government can always act.
In Uganda, technology is gradually contributing to the country's economic trajectory. Over the past few years, the country's technology sector has witnessed rapid growth, especially in the areas of mobile devices, computer applications, information processing and sharing. According to the statistics from the Uganda Investment Authority, post and telecommunication services activities grew by 30.3% in the fiscal year 2010 to 11, and accounted for 3.3% of the Uganda's GDP. These growth changes have had a profound impact on the Ugandan economy, making the information communication sector an important driver of economic growth. Pedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV.
All right. Now, you've heard of NFTs, you've heard of cryptos, and you've heard of Bitcoin, right? This is it. Cryptocurrency is one of those few things that many Ugandans would want to join, but due to ignorance, some have no idea. But here's the reason as to why one would join it. In some of the developed countries, cryptocurrency use was most widespread in English-speaking countries, the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, South Africa, and Australia. Emerging economies like India, China, and Brazil are also registered as heavy users. And of recent year, President Zelensky of Ukraine also legalized the use of crypto in Ukraine. This has pushed the spread to African countries, even though many governments have not legalized it yet. And so is the Ugandan government. Mugenyi Killian, who is a blockchain advocate, is advising you on how best you can trade with crypto and why you should learn to trade with cryptocurrencies. Let's have the details as Gloria Mbabazi reports.
Cryptocurrency, sometimes called cryptocurrency or crypto, is a form of currency that exists digitally or virtually and uses cryptography to secure transactions. Mugenyi Killian, co-founder Nile One Group, says that people need to learn how to trade with cryptocurrencies so as to avoid scam, but it's only when you learn to trade that you can achieve financial freedom.
When you own crypto, you are your own bank. So if you give access to somebody else to run this for you, they own your money and they can do anything they want with it. So this is how many people are being scammed. And so if you learn how to trade, how to manage your cryptocurrencies, how to secure your passwords and everything, then you are set to trade in cryptocurrencies. And this way, I believe people can have financial freedom. It's an opportunity to those that do not have jobs. With little income, you can come into cryptocurrencies. And of course, with a disciplined way of managing your portfolio and learning from experiences, consuming a lot of knowledge out there, because you need to watch a lot of videos, you need to read a lot of materials. It's a new industry, and every day there is something new. You have to always keep up to trend. You have to keep your devices updated. Your phone always has to be updated for security purposes. So these are some of the loopholes you need to protect yourself and make sure that the cryptocurrencies you own and buy stays in your possession, and you keep it as long as possible so that you gain the maximum value.
Killian believes that one can become a millionaire with understanding crypto, more so if you have set a long-term plan, because it gives you time to get used to trading.
Crypto can make you a millionaire in a day or in 10 years. It all depends on when you get in, what is your long-term plan. It's an overnight thing. I think it's better that you think about it like any other business, that I've come in with this amount of time. In 6 months, I want to see where I am, and you keep it growing slowly. If it comes out quick, well, you're lucky, but if you think long term, then you have less pressure, you have less stress to watch the markets going up and down. Because crypto, as I said, is a roller coaster. When I first invested in it, I had sleepless nights. It was very little money, but because it keeps going up and there's that excitement, you lose sleep because you want to sit on the screen and watch it go, like maybe I could sleep and it goes to maybe 10x and I need to sell. But this can happen, but though with time now you learn how to control emotions, you take a cautious approach, you do enough research. At the end of the day, cryptocurrencies is really a dream come true for so many.
This said, however, there are also some hindrances that are making it difficult for Uganda trading with crypto, more so that it's yet to be legal in the country and regulation is still under the loop.
The infrastructure is a bit outdated in Uganda, especially as far as internet is concerned. The internet connection is poor, it's very expensive. The internet devices themselves are very expensive. So somebody with a low income really has a challenge trying to stay up to this. And if you're going to be a crypto trader, you need a very good internet connection to access these platforms. Otherwise, they will not download on your PC. So if the government can improve that, in collaboration, of course, with the private sector, to improve the internet connection, provide a good regulatory framework, whereby you know that if I'm trading crypto, this is what I need to do. If I'm paying my taxes, this is the amount. So we at Nile One at least are helping with that. We have not yet engaged the government because we need to prepare these documents to see how best crypto can be regulated. You cannot fully regulate it or block it or anything, but you provide some guidelines. And if you get endorsement from a government in a certain business, more people get confidence in investing. So that's another challenge that we have. So if I'm teaching crypto, but somebody's like, but crypto in Uganda is not legal. Now what do I do? If I made my gains, what do I do? We guide you how to do this, because we don't promote fraudsters, we don't promote money launderers, we don't promote these illegal activities. We want people to invest their money in a legal way, pay your taxes where you need to do that, and then, of course, transfer this value into other businesses, and also build the people around you. This is how to do. Otherwise, we would be out maybe in Vegas chilling, but we are here to try to transfer this knowledge such that our communities come out of poverty. We have seen the challenges in Uganda. I live in Europe, but when I come back and see like there's very little change, it's heartbreaking. But I know with crypto, in a short period, it can change a lot of communities.
Cryptocurrencies don't have a central issuing or regulating authority, instead using a decentralized system to record transactions and issue new units. It should be noted that the government of Uganda does not recognize any cryptocurrency as legal tender in Uganda.